Joining us now is Oregon Democratic Senator Ron Wyden, who sits on the Senate Healthcare Subcommittee. Senator Wyden, it's very good to see you.
Thanks for having me again.
So tell me a bit about when you found the individual mandate, because you're one of the early Democrats to actually embrace it. When Democrats had not liked this policy at all in the 90s, it had been the Republican alternative, and you began looking at it in the mid-2000s. What was the appeal?
I believed it was an opportunity to break really 100 years worth of gridlock on this healthcare issue. As you know, we have been working on this decade after decade after decade, and it seemed to me that when John Chafee, particularly during those Clinton years, laid out an opportunity to show that there'd be some personal responsibility, you'd be required to purchase a measure of health care coverage, we could tie it to what I've always dreamed about, which is getting everybody in America good and affordable coverage. Now, you have, over the last few minutes, described sort of what you describe as the irony of the whole issue. I would tell you, I think what you described is really a byproduct of zero-sum politics. On these big issues, it's always been one side has got to win, the other side has got to lose. That's what I think forces a lot of this polarization, and what I've been trying to show over the last few years, and we won a great victory early this year for internet freedom when a Republican, a conservative Republican, Senator Jerry Moran, teamed up with me, and we were able to make sure that websites didn't become web cops. We've got to break this polarization, and I'll tell you, Ezra, it is the only way out, because this election is still not going to produce a supermajority for either side in the Senate.
What always worries me about the Senate now, about politics now, is you describe it as zero-sum electioneering, and I think you're completely right. What scares me about the dysfunction we see in American government right now is that it's not clear to me anybody's wrong about that. The Republican Party experienced a very large win at the polls in 2010, based at least in part on their rock-solid opposition to the health care bill, which made it much less popular. Mitch McConnell, the leader of the Senate Republicans, pretty much said straight out that we need the American people to not see these things as bipartisan, because if they see them as bipartisan, they'll think they're good. So how do minorities escape that? I mean, it seems we've built this kind of behavior into the system itself, and I don't see how it gets out of it.
You have to get around the middlemen in Washington, D.C. The middlemen, essentially the lobbyists, the political consultants, the pollsters, they are one of the main reasons why you see this kind of polarization, because they take these sort of instant polls, they show, look, we've got a great opportunity to hammer the other guys, we can score in this election, and that's why on the big issues we see everything gridlocked. Now, I think on tax reform, we've got another terrific opportunity. I and others have put together a bipartisan bill. It's built around what Democrats and Ronald Reagan did, where they clean out the clutter, hold down the rates, and we can create millions of jobs. To do it, both sides are going to have to say, we're going to be willing to do what's good for the country, solve a problem, and that means fighting the special interests, not each other. We'll see if it can be done.
We'll see if it can be done. Oregon Democratic Senator Ron Wyden, thank you very much for being here, and I hope you're proven right. I hope this place can still work.
It's the only way out.